We'll only know if this effort has succeeded when the curriculum and tests are aligned to these standards.
That was Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft and also the bankroller of Common Core. As you sit here today listening to me, Bill Gates has spent $6 billion on Common Core. That's where we should start in this little overview of why America should be worried about Common Core. Paid for to the tune of $6 billion by non-educators, crafted behind closed doors by political partisans and ideologues, Common Core are a set of national standards for English and math with all other subject areas coming, and they're going to completely transform the way we educate your kids. There are two main problems with Common Core. One is the loss of state and local control. And two, the fact that once the federal government has begun to accrue educational power to itself, it uses that power to indoctrinate children. Take point number one, state and local control. Do we honestly believe that the federal government knows better how to educate 60 million American school kids than our local communities and our local teachers do? In our long history as a country, once the federal government assumes responsibility for something, even if they cannot make it work, they never cede that responsibility back to the states. Right now in your kids' classrooms, if there's a book or a movie that you don't want your kid to see, if there's some lesson, a sexuality lesson that's being taught that you want to exempt your kids from, you can do that by going to the school and opting out. But once every aspect of your child's curriculum becomes linked to the national standards and are tested at the national level, you will not be able to opt your children out. The federal government, the state, will have to determine when and if they'll grant waivers. And do we have faith that they're going to do that for you? Right now, we want local control. We want to maximize the ability of our teachers to deal with our children who in communities where they know best what should be done. Bill Gates, you heard the clip. The Common Core standards are going to align with the curriculum. One of the great lies of Common Core is it's just a set of standards, not a curriculum. You heard Bill Gates say directly into the camera that the purpose of Common Core is to align these broad national tests to the curriculum. That's a problem. The second problem is that, and we've already begun to see it with Common Core, as more and more of this power and control is ceded to the federal government, they're using it to rewrite academic standards, academic achievement. They're using that power to import all sorts of sociological experimentation into your kids. You've heard about the horrors of data mining, how through these big national tests, these computer-based tests, dramatic information is being gathered on your children and disseminated to all sorts of governmental group and even private organizations. Besides the lack of privacy through data mining, you're getting a remarkably radical agenda fed through English and even math class, as traditional ways of math are not just being supplemented by new Common Core ways of doing math, they're being eliminated in favor of the new Common Core paradigm only. We're creating a situation where moms and dads are unable to help their kids with their homework, where they don't even get to see the assignments that their kids are doing in the classroom. This is a serious issue, to say nothing of all the related things that are coming with Common Core. Whatever else Common Core is, it's also a Trojan horse through which the federal government can feed all sorts of different agendas. I would urge you to take a look at the National Sexuality Standards. Type that into Google and take a look at that document. Common Core will be one thing that facilitates the imposition of this really shocking and age-inappropriate sexuality education through Common Core classrooms, starting with kids as young as kindergarten. And then, besides the ideological problems with Common Core, besides the control issues that come with Common Core at the national level, you've also got a host of other related issues as well. And these are really critical moving forward for American education. The testing, for instance. These tests are monolithic, they're huge, they're one size fits all. The idea that one broad national test, which is going to be the only meaningful way that your kids and their teachers are going to be evaluated, controlled ultimately in Washington, D.C., the idea that this is going to be a fair representation of what goes on in your classrooms, it just won't work that way. As a matter of fact, let me leave you with a short clip from David Coleman, who is the architect of Common Core, talking about how your teachers will no longer have the freedom to teach what they want to teach, how they want to teach it. For more information after you watch this short clip from David Coleman, visit Freedom Project Education, FPEUSA.org, for all sorts of free information, videos, articles, links that will give you a much broader explanation for the things that I've just explained to you in this short overview. I'm going to leave you with the horrifying David Coleman right now.
Teachers will teach towards the test. There is no force strong enough on this earth to prevent that. There's no amount of hand-waving. There's no amount of saying they teach to the standards, not the test. We don't do that here, whatever.